He's All That is a direct remake of She's All That. Released in 2021, there were some controversies involving the cast of the movie. The lead was a TikTok influencer, dancer / journalist / singer, Addison Rae. Many stated that she used her privilege to get the role, but alongside her co-lead, they made statements saying she got the role fair and square. Also with Rae, many dread the film being the worst, but was it? Stay tuned to find out. Before we begin, if you want to see music bios or more good videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Also, I've started a Patreon account. On here you get more copyrighted material and they'll be uploaded 48 hours prior to YouTube. If you want to support or visit, link is in the description. And without further ado, on to our feature presentation. Paget Sawyer is a TikTok makeup influencer because apparently that's the only role Addison can play. Paget flexes about her wealth, but in reality, she isn't that wealthy as she lives with her divorced mother, Lainey Boggs. Except this isn't Lainey Boggs. Instead of Rachael Leigh Cook reprising her role, the filmmaker decided to make her a new character. And if you care, she's a nurse. Instead of going to school, she and her friends decide to surprise her boyfriend, local pop star Jordan. She goes live to surprise him, and a surprise she gets. Paget finds Jordan smashing with one of his dancers, and she has two options. She could take the Eminem and Dre route, or run off and cry. But what she did was worse than that. She goes into a fit of rage and throws her dessert at him, all this while her friend Alden is filming. Now I want you to remember this moment because all of it will be important later on. The next day, Paget loses sponsorship from the lesser Kardashian and her followers start to decline. She was once known as a makeup influencer, but now known as Bubble Girl. But she decided not to dwell on this downfall. Alden places a bet for Paget to make the biggest loser in high school prom king. Paget thinks this will be a good idea because if she's successful, she can regain her followers and get her sponsorship from the lesser Kardashian back. The girls wound up picking Cameron Queller, an antisocial photographer and known enemy of Jordan. Paget tries to talk to him but fails. But she does bond with her sister, who's more open than he is. She tells Paget that he likes horses as he works on a horse ranch. Paget takes horse riding lessons but lands herself in horse. But they do bond, so points for that. Paget then takes Cam and his friend Nisha to a pool party to expand his social horizons. There, Alden and Quinn butchers the Monica and Brandy classic The Boy Is Mine. And it's funny because the actress who plays Quinn can really sing. Paget then asks Cam about education, and he tells her that college is a scam, and I could agree with him more. She then performs Teenage Dream, and I honestly forgot she had a music career. Things are going fine until Jordan shows up with his girlfriend. Paget nearly chokes until Cam comes and saves the day.
You make me feel like I'm living a teenage.
After the party, Nisha tells Paget that Cam is like a brother to her, and if you hurt him, she'll hurt you.
But Cameron is like a brother to me, so I have to say, if you do anything to hurt him, I'll put a croquet bouche in your croquet face. You feel me?
Paget then shows up to Cam's place as she left her bag and to go on another horse riding lesson, and we found out that his mother was killed in a plane crash and his father lives in Sweden, thus they stay with their grandmother. One of his most prized possessions is his camera, the last thing his mother gave him before her death. Paget is now ready for his makeover as she wants to prepare for Alden's Roaring 20's 18th birthday party. And Paget gives Cameron a full 180 in his appearance, and honestly, he looks amazing. At the party, we found out that Jordan's new bae deserted him for New York and it's over. At the same time, Nisha and Quinn are bonding. Jordan wants Paget back, but it fails. He tries to make a play for Cam's sister, and once Cam finds out about this, Jordan wants to fight. Cam fights like Sunshine on Remember the Titans, relying on his defense to enable his offense, but at the end, he loses when Jordan throws Cam's camera into the pool. This breaks him and he goes home. Alden sees that Paget is falling for him, but Paget doesn't back down from the bet as it will expose her true nature if she fails. Alden ends her night by smashing Jordan, and the next day we found out her intentions. But first, we find out that Cam is nominated for prom king, as is Jordan. Alden decides to run for prom queen, and we also found out that she kept the camera rolling on purpose. Quinn is sympathetic towards Paget as she didn't know about Alden's intentions, and tells her that Nisha wants to go to prom with her. After school, Paige visits Cam's red room with all of his photos. They go for a kiss and she storms out. Bryn, who's Cam's sister, finds out about this and she tells him that he must ask her for prom. He does just that in front of Alden and she tells Paget to expose the truth about the bet. Cam is devastated and storms off. Paget doesn't want to go to prom, but her mother, who's her chaperone, tells her that no matter what happens, forget about being an influencer at prom. Be yourself at the prom. Paige tries to encourage Bryn to ask him to still go to the prom. That night, Bryn tearfully pleads to Cam to go as he hasn't smiled this much since his mother was alive, and Bryn doesn't want him to lose that feeling. At the prom, we find out that Brock is the school principal, except he isn't. Instead of Matthew Lillard reprising his role, the filmmakers decided to make him a new character. Paige and Alden gets into a dance competition. I guess this is how prom was in 2021. But I will say the dancing is much better than 1999, but the scene goes on for too long. The principal is ready to announce prom queen and king, and Jordan unsurprisingly wins. As for prom queen, Paget wins despite her waning popularity. She gives a speech about chasing popularity and how Cam changed her for the better. She then declines her role as prom queen. Alden then storms on stage as she thinks she's second place, only to find out she came in fourth. Pageant night is done, but for her mother, she gets nostalgic as Kiss Me, the theme for the 1999 movie, plays.
Why do I know this song?
Kiss me.
Outside, Cameron shows up on horseback as he forgives Paige. Once the remix version of Kiss Me plays, Principal Boggs loses himself the same way Brock lost himself when Rick James played, only this time the student co-signs. Paget remodels her social media role by traveling the world with her now boyfriend Cameron on the side. Now I know what you're thinking, what was the terms of the bet? No, she didn't show up to graduation naked or flash the crowd, but instead she gets a tattoo called Loser and Cameron gets the same thing. And if you ask me, it's kind of an underwhelming way to end the film. I don't know what to think about this film. When I found out Addison Rae was the lead of the film, I feared the worst, but to her credit, she wasn't terrible in this. I do feel like her playing an influencer was too safe because that's who Addison Rae is. One of the more important lessons is how fragile people's egos are. Jordan's ego is more fragile than Anthony Davis on the Lakers as he has to take off his shirt for literally everything. And oh yeah, by the way, his song sucks and it sounds like the crap Jake Paul used to pull off. For Alden, she too has a fragile ego because she knew she would be prom queen once Paget conceded, only to find out she came in fourth. And while I can get behind the nostalgia bait of Paget's mother recognizing Kiss Me, the 1999 theme song for She's All That, and Principal Boggs' Rick James dance, even Quinn and Nisha's relationship, as Hollywood has a big inclusion problem, but their relationship did not overshadow the main story, the rest of this movie kinda underachieved. There was a ton of missed opportunities in this film. If it was up to me, I had Lainey Boggs have a child, divorce with Zach, and instead of making her a new character. Brock will still be the principal. I don't know why they had to name him Principal Boggs. I think the villains, Jordan and Alden, were very underwhelming. I felt like they Disney-fied their roles, adding a few profanities here and there, and it shows. Now, one of the main critiques people say about this movie is that the cast lacked chemistry and the pacing, and I get where some of this is coming from. I felt like Paget fell in love with Cam too fast, and everything came ahead of them for a week. After getting these thoughts off my chest, this movie is tough to recommend. Just stick to the original, and that goes for the song Kiss Me Too. And that concludes He's All That. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.